Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the Star Wars Movie Podcast. I thought I would create a fun podcast here. It's been a little slow when it comes to the Star Wars 2015 movie news, so I thought I would create a fun video here and just ask everybody, see if you could give your opinion on this topic. I wanted to gauge and see what your favorite Star Wars video game ever is for you. And this could be a video game that was, let's say, in the arcade, or on any of the consoles, or any of the, let's say, online games, anything at all. Whatever you have in terms of one of your favorite games, let me know. Post it on here. Post your comments below. And that way we can gauge and see how closely related others' video games favorites are, and how far apart others are as well. I wanted to give an example. On my end, my absolute favorite Star Wars video game remains the PC game Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 that came out in the 90s or so. I remember first ordering that from Amazon back when it first was released, and I remember getting it at home, opening it, placing it into my computer at the time that could just barely run the thing, and of course, it's so antiquated now, it's funny to even think that, but in any case, I remember the cutscenes, the movie scenes first began blaring through my stereo, and I couldn't believe that I was about to play a video game just like this. It was absolutely beautiful to watch those cutscenes with the live-action actors, playing a little hammy, of course, but the special effects were decent enough to qualify for a video game, and then the video game actually started after the cutscenes, and it was awesome from there. And what I loved about that game was how huge it was. Absolutely huge. It was so big it had to take 2 discs in order to essentially make up the entire game. And I remember playing it straight one time throughout the entire, I think it was a week or two, and loving every single minute of it. And then of course when the final part of the game came, it was sad to see such a great story come to an end, but at the end of the day, it was great to, beat that game. I did have to use a little bit of cheats because it did get a little hard with Jarek being able to cast so much lightning. It was very difficult to get past him, but I did beat the game, and what a blast it was. And then the absolute bonus that came with it, the Mysteries of the Sith add-on game that came with it, starring Mara Jade. It was absolute blast too, because now I could continue the game through another set of characters. In this case, of course, somebody that is so famous from the expanded universe, Mara. And I absolutely loved the details in the games, the sound effects, and of course it was one of the first games where you actually were able to control and manipulate a lightsaber in a fashionable manner, i.e. you could use it in a way with the mouse that it would block and deflect almost like a real lightsaber would. So what a blast that was. The music was fantastic. The CD had much music from the Star Wars movies, all official of course. And then again, the special effects within the movie cutscenes, it was so awesome to see a level finish, because I knew then that I would be treated to the cutscenes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to YouTube and type in like Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 cutscenes, and somebody out there no doubt would have pasted all of the cutscenes together for your enjoyment. And it's great to see that that even to this day, this game remains a hallmark when it comes to the Star Wars games. You'll find it with any forum mentioned as one of the favorites of others out there, so I'm glad to see that it's been done, that it had obtained the glory that it should have, and it continues to do so. Now, the only fault with this game, unfortunately, is ever since Windows upgraded, I think it was to XP or to Vista, the game has become obsolete. It cannot play within some of the new Windows systems, and there have been a bunch of forums that I've tried to research where people post solutions to it, but I think the solutions actually end up going straight into the registry of your computer, and that's a big no-no for me. I don't want to mess around with that level of detail, but I still haven't been able to play the game thus far, so it's kind of bad news on that part. I'm surprised that nobody has bothered, like let's say with Half-Life and other games out there where people make modifications and upgrades and essentially make it user accessible nowadays. I'm surprised nobody is able to do that with this game yet, but who knows, maybe somebody is working on it, or a community is working on it, and we'll get that listed on here. I wish that somebody like the PlayStation Network or Microsoft or whoever, I wish that the LucasArts, the division that handles their gaming industry, I wish that they were able to release this movie at least online, but unfortunately I guess the conversion for any format is too much of a handle, and so they haven't been able to do it as of yet. But anyways, that's just my opinion on what I consider to be my absolute favorite Star Wars video game of all time. As always, everybody post your own opinions below. Share them with everybody. Make sure that you, it doesn't matter how small or how unknown the game is. It could be a Game Boy Star Wars game that was released back in the 80s. Doesn't matter. If it's your favorite, go ahead and post it below. Thanks as always, everybody. Take care. Bye.